Many e-commerce brands make almost as much money in the fourth quarter of the year, so October to December, than they do the rest of the year. And so, why is that? And there are a couple of reasons for this. Number one, these brands have excelled at their marketing all year round. So, they've built brand awareness, they've built the size of their warm audiences, and acquired new customers all year round. And yes, these efforts may cost more during the other months of the year when consumers generally aren't necessarily out spending in fourth quite so much. But being consistent about that marketing throughout the year really helps you to maximize your results during the fourth quarter. And of course, by results, I mean this is the time that many brands are making most of their profits for the year. And then, secondly, consumers are generally out spending money more often during the fourth quarter of the year. So, given the market demand is there at that time of the year, you need to make sure that your marketing is spot on so that you can be the go to brand for your customers to spend with. And there are a number of highlights in a typical e-commerce marketing calendar during the fourth quarter. Here in Australia, whether you participate in events like Click Frenzy and, of course, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, that's pretty much a global sensation these days, or, maybe using changes in season, or, definitely the gift time of year heading into Christmas. So, Christmas gifting, holiday season gifting, all of those sorts of promotional events help to stimulate demand for your products. To really maximize your results in Q4, you need to do more than just throw up a Black Friday sale, though. If you come to me, say, 2 weeks before Black Friday, wanting me to wave my magic wand and produce a miracle sales result for you and, hit some new record highs for Black Friday, and you haven't been doing any consistent marketing all year round, then I'll probably ask you if I'm your fairy godmother or something. I mean, the fact is, you do need to be, you want to be monetizing as many peak buying times as possible. And, even before then, you need to be implementing the right kind of marketing to attract and warm up your audiences. So they're absolutely champing at the bit, ready to respond to the promos that you put out. They just want to get their hands on your stuff when it goes on sale. And so today on the show, we're going to dive specifically into the Black Friday promo strategy, because this is really where you stand to generate the biggest boost to your revenue and profits. Now, before we get into it though, I do have a free resource to share that will absolutely help you to execute successfully on your Q4 marketing. It's my Sell Like Hotcakes email guide and template. Now, for many of you, trying to figure out what to write or put into your emails is the hardest thing. You face kind of the digital equivalent of writer's block. You know what I mean? And too frequently, I see business owners just ending up neglecting the most powerful marketing channel that you have at your disposal as a result. You need to learn how to craft persuasive emails, and email marketing reliably contributes to the highest revenue per website visitor out of any channel. So you definitely want to master this skill set. And so to help with that, you can go ahead and grab a free copy of my resource. Just head to katherinelangman.com/email-template. We will, of course, include a link to this on this episode's show notes. Alrighty, let's dive into the episode. So Black Friday, Cyber Monday. This sale event, this massive promo event, it's become an e-commerce tradition. It began back in 2005 in America. I believe, of course, probably someone will correct me, but I believe it was the first, always started the day after Thanksgiving. And last year, Australian e-commerce stores alone processed something like nearly $9 billion, with global sales well over that during this 4-day sale event. Done well, your Black Friday promo, and when I say Black Friday promo, I am talking about, the full 4 days, Black Friday to Cyber Monday, can boost your e-commerce sales revenue by over 30%, which is huge. And last year was no exception, despite, it being a pretty tough year in terms of retail spending. But, it was no exception last year. Retail sales over that Black Friday promotional event actually grew by 22% compared to the year before. And 79% of shoppers during Black Friday were actually shopping from their mobile device. Interestingly, Gen Z, they spent the most during Black Friday, followed by millennials, and then us Gen Xers, who probably spent all of our money on our kids. But there you go. 64% of Gen Zs and 61% of millennials, they were out spending in force, and then followed by 40% of Gen Xers. So, still plenty of us Gen Xers out there in the mix. Also, men are just as likely as women to be shopping during Black Friday. So it's not just us women keeping the tills full. And additionally, customers, they just don't typically demonstrate as much brand loyalty during Black Friday promos. So if something is out of stock, they'll buy something else. That means good things for those of you who are trying to acquire new customers and encourage new people to try your wares. This year, nearly 2/3 of consumers are expected and have stated that they're going to be out shopping in Black Friday promos globally. So that is a lot of people who could be buying from you, which means a well-run Black Friday promotion is going to be the time that you can encourage new customers to trial your products, as well as, of course, encourage your existing customers to come back and repeat purchase with you and stock up on your stuff. Now, I do know that some brands have decided to sit Black Friday out over the years, but even particularly last year, I'm thinking about not wanting to fuel some frenzy of consumerism. And, I do agree that the origins of Black Friday definitely was, a pretty consumerist sort of message around it. And, that's not what many of us are about in business. But if that's you, I honestly would be recommending that you can reconsider sitting it out this year and instead adopt messaging such as, using terms like Green Friday instead to encourage customers to make more sustainable purchases. And there are a lot of consumers out there like me who are wanting to shop and get some great deals during that period of time. A lot of consumers, they've stated that they're going to be out shopping, they're preparing, they're saving, they're preparing, they are intending to spend money. And if they're not going to spend money with one brand, they'll spend it with another brand. And they're going to be, if they're value-based shoppers like myself, then they're looking for those kinds of special offers out there. So if that's the kind of brand that you are, please reconsider and just use some different messaging and terminology and merchandise your own promotion differently to say how some others might do it. Basically, consumers have proven that they really do want to shop at this time of year. And so by sitting out of this promo, you're only going to direct those potential customers of yours over to the competition and likely, miss out on the opportunity for them to shop with you, rather than these customers sitting it out and waiting to spend with you later. They won't save their money for that. Your audience, definitely going to be out spending cash. So ideally you want to be their go-to store. So you are going to want to get yourself organized now in order to make sure that your Black Friday or Green Friday promo is an absolute corker, as we would say here in Oz. So let's go through the steps. And the first step that you really need to work on, and this is what you need to be doing now if you're not already, and even if you are doing this now, you need to go harder. So realistically, the number one mistake that I see most e-commerce brands make with all major promotions, but including Black Friday, is that they wait way too long to start their marketing or even to think about it. And so this can be a really big problem for brands that have not been consistent with their marketing throughout the year. And it leads to problems like their social media audiences and their email lists have not been replenished over time, and they've become somewhat immune to new offers. A burnt out audience just won't keep responding, and rewarding you with more and more purchases. New and different products and offers may not have been tested if you haven't been marketing throughout the year, leaving you as the brand owner guessing about what your customers will respond to when the time does come. dormant ad accounts that have no recent data or spend in them, or any kind of recent results or metrics to use in order to optimize campaigns, is going to make it very difficult and costly for algorithms to try and optimize your campaigns effectively during high demand periods. Got to remember that during those high demand periods like Black Friday, Cyber Monday, there are way more businesses and brands spending money advertising on all the platforms, and more demand means higher prices, right? And particularly if you're an ad account that hasn't got any kind of recent history for the algorithm to use in order to find your customers in the most efficient way. Oftentimes as well, if you've been inconsistent with your marketing over time, you're going to be disorganized with implementation. That's going to, I promise, lead to a frazzled business owner who doesn't have the right marketing assets ready to go, whether it's from images or videos or product collections on the website or other content on the website or in the emails and everything else in between. And it becomes an extremely stressful exercise to get a campaign up and running if you haven't been consistent throughout the year, or if you leave it too late to get moving on this stuff. And there's more too. So the point is, you definitely need to be consistently building your engaged audiences on social media with your organic content and paid ads. Need to be consistently building your email list. There's a variety of different ways that you can do that. Obviously, I'm a massive fan of always be list building and having your Klaviyo set up to always be building your database. There's other things you can do as well, whether you use some kind of a competition or a giveaway as a list builder, or, do a collaboration with a complementary brand. Also, consistently sending out marketing emails to make sure that your subscribers are accustomed to receiving and opening your emails. I cannot emphasize how important it is to have a well-tended email account. If you haven't sent a single email all year, don't wait until Black Friday to start, because they're all going to end up in the spam folder, and your customers will not be trained to keep an eye out for your emails or to know that there's good content in your emails and be kind of, indoctrinated into opening them and, responding with purchases or clicks to your website, right? So bottom line is, you cannot wing this promotion at the last minute and hope to succeed. Step 2 is to decide on your offers. Historically speaking, Black Friday sales have been all about big discounts and deals. Now, I do like to see a minimum of 15% off here, but don't feel like you have to go completely crazy with deep discounts. Certainly, I would say that if you're reaching for 50% or more in terms of a discount, you will probably not make more money in the bottom line than you might have with a smaller discount. But more importantly, I want you to think about two things. First of all, it is typically a gifting time of year. So you do want to encourage, and secondly, you want to encourage bigger average order values. And the reason for that second point is that, obviously you are giving up some margin in discount, and you're probably going to be spending money on ads. And so to still make a really decent net profit here in terms of dollar value, encouraging those bigger average order values is super helpful. So therefore, where possible, you want to push those discounted bundles and incentives to reach higher order values rather than just, promoting individual items. And you can also, put together some bundles and gift packs and things like that really do make sense for gifting time of year. Now, not all brands make sense as a gift. That's okay. It won't matter too much. I think people will be out looking to spend with all their favorite brands. So even if you don't have a Christmas gift type product, still go for it. And I would suggest you do still want to have some smaller offers on the table. Not everyone's going to have, the capacity to spend the bigger bucks. Secondly, you want to consider things like staggering your offers. So not just having a single offer, you can look at having a few different offers. So for example, you could have a extra gift with purchase for an early bird opening for your VIPs, for example. We did that in Indigare in our recent Afterpay Day sale, and it worked really, really well. Or perhaps you could have a large, medium, and small discounted bundle with a sliding scale of discount. So, the more you spend, the bigger the discount. Or, just make it like that through the whole store. 15% off when you spend up to, $200 and 20% off over that, for example. You could have, you could have store-wide discounts, or you could have certain items that are discounted. And as you get closer to Christmas, so potentially after Black Friday is finished and, there's still time to promote for Christmas gifts after that, a lot of people start to panic because they haven't done their Christmas shopping. Maybe they've just gone shopping for themselves in Black Friday and realized, oh, I've got a lot of Christmas gifts that I need to organize before Christmas. This is always me. I think I've shared on the show before, one of my kids has a birthday at the end of November, and I can never think about Christmas gift ideas until that's done and dusted. So, once you're done with, or even, with a incentive, you could also add in some free express postage just towards the end before your shipping cutoff dates. Another thing that's really cool to do in your Black Friday is to introduce a new product or launch a new product. So this is a really cool strategy for increasing sales uptake with your existing customer base in particular. And, by introducing them to a new product in your range. And that way, people who've already bought your other stuff, there's something new for them to come back and get excited about your promo. So that's a really, really cool item. Alternatively, you could create a limited edition item that's only available during either the Black Friday period or, maybe from Black Friday through the Christmas period. So deciding on your offers is that second step. Step number 3 is to get really clear on your promotional period. Now, Black Friday itself in 2024 actually falls on Friday, the 29th of November. So for the Black Friday to Cyber Monday promo, that, the 29th is, pretty much the start date of your promo. Or perhaps, you're going to go early, a few days earlier for your VIPs. Now, last year, I did see a lot of brands start a lot earlier and run their Black Friday before, well before, like at the start of November. And, a lot of them made some good money then, but then they fell flat around the Black Friday promo because they weren't running anything at that period of time when the customers expected it. So, really decide on those dates and how you're going to approach it. So just also remember, Cyber Monday is 4 days after Black Friday. So once that Black Friday to Cyber Monday 4-day promotional weekend is over, then you really do want to continue promoting Christmas gift items, or, if you have stuff that's, perhaps the messaging might be more around seasonal changes or getting, ready for the party season or whatever is going to make sense for your products, right? You still want to be, continue promoting. And then the last day of your promotional period is likely to be the last date that you can ship orders and reasonably expect them to arrive at their destination before Christmas. So you're going to need to make sure you check that with your freight supplier and work out what that cutoff date is. Step number 4 is to theme your creative. I would say all of my most successful campaigns had a very clear look and feel. And then, in amongst all of that, it's a visual way of communicating whatever the hook or tagline for the promo is. So all of the communications in the campaign have, the same or similar imagery and graphic design treatment. And, if you're using a particular tagline and fonts and all of that good stuff, so that it's really clear and obvious that they are part of the campaign. Because your Black Friday campaign is the start of your or around the start of your Christmas selling period or your gift selling period, you do want to create, you probably want to have some kind of festive theme that really kicks in after Black Friday look and feel ends. That way you can kind of differentiate a little bit between, the specific campaigns. It gives you more, another reason to go back out to your audience and keep selling. But the main point about, theming and having that, really distinct look and feel for your promotional content for a specific campaign, the main point I want to make here is that you need to make sure that that is applied to all of the content that you will be pushing out during the campaign promo period. So, on your website, in your emails, on your social media, certainly also, across all ad platforms, but also if you're using, for example, you're using shop on Facebook or Instagram, just really make sure that you have applied this look and feel and this theme for your campaign across the board. And that way your audience will recognize it when they see it. There becomes that familiarity. I don't have the stat in front of me right now, but for a long period of time, marketers have known that customers, consumers, they need to interact and engage with a marketing message multiple times before they're likely to buy. And if there's no consistency between all of your marketing content, then it becomes quite a confusing user experience. And so you really do want to have that level of resonance across the board. Number 5, get your website ready. So when it comes to big sale promos like Black Friday and Cyber Monday, you definitely want to have a dedicated place on your website and, really dress the website up. So we're looking at things like, making updates to the homepage hero image, probably, a countdown timer, some information in your announcement bar, but also you might end up having a specific landing page. So it's going to depend a little bit on what your offers are. But if there's specific sale collections, for example, or you have a series of offers, or you need to explain something like, 15% off up to $200 and 20% off beyond, over that. Having a dedicated landing page designed for that, that, you can send all of your emails and add traffic to that landing page, and then, direct people how to shop from there, is going to make a really seamless user experience for your audience. And, a few tactics that you might want to use for, aiding conversions, depending on, the timing of the promotional period. So, once you get past Black Friday and you kick into more of the Christmas or holiday gifting type messaging, you would be using language like buy the perfect gift, or it could be buy the perfect gift for mum, for dad, for wife, husband, whatever. Whoever your audience is, obviously, make sure that you think that through and what's going to be appropriate for your audience and for the sorts of products that you sell.